3D mandalas as meditation program moved from October 18th to November 4th, 8th to November 8th. So that's another Saturday. That's after the exhibits are over, but that's what worked out for our instructor, Dr. Bergstein. And we have one more coffee attempt before the season is over. Next week, Kathleen Boudet, who was here for our Day of Regeneration for Caregivers, is coming back to do a talk. And I think she might be doing the hands-on activity. Good help. So today we're going to show the film called Reconnecting, the Art of Loren Eiferman. Loren Eiferman is the one who did these pieces that you see, sculptures and the ones here. And the film was created by Christopher Vagts. I don't know if you saw over the summer, they did these little posts. What's her name?
Susie.
Susie, right, and these little videos about what's happening in Cricketry. They were our summer interns, and Susie went to U of M stamps, or she's been at U of M stamps. I think she has another year to go. And then Christopher did 2 years at NCMC in animation, studied with Ann Morningstar and amazing teachers over at NCMC. And then he went on to start his the rest of his degree at the College for Creative Studies in Detroit. So he's studying animation. So I'll tell you a little bit about Christopher, then I'll tell you a little bit about Loren, and then we'll see the film. So Christopher is an interdisciplinary 3D artist with a passion for combining principles of traditional art, focusing them into animation. With a foundation in traditional drawing techniques such as oil painting, graphing, and life drawing, Chris likes to say their skill flourishes when putting pen to tablet instead of pen to paper. In recent years, Chris has developed a passion for 3D modeling and texturing. Still a student, Chris has displayed their character and skill through placement on the Dean's List 2 years in a row, the Artist Choice Jury Show, the Underground Gallery, and the Emerging Artists Exhibition. This fall, Chris transferred to College for Creative Studies to continue their education. And the other thing about Chris is that he drove to New York to pick all that work up. Yeah, it's all in New York, so I have a journey for a young man from Union. Loren Eiferman, the artist, was born in Brooklyn, New York. After studying drawing in France, she became interested in sculpture and ultimately graduated from SUNY Purchase with a BFA. Over many decades, Eiferman has created a unique technique of working with naturally found wood. For organic wood sculptures, take the detritus from nature and turns it into art. Eiferman has exhibited extensively through the tri-state New York region, from galleries in New York City to numerous galleries and alternative art spaces, and there's a big long list. Her work has included numerous corporate and private art collections. In 2014, she installed the public art commission for the in New York City MTA, the Metro Transportation Authority. And she currently maintains and works in her studio in Hudson Valley, which you're going to get to see the big piles of wood and other stuff. So,
one and all to a very special interview brought to you by the Tree Art Center. My name is Vagts, and today I'm joined by a guest who needs no introduction, much too good of good and gosh darn one anyways. Multidisciplinary artist with a passion for nature, avid wood sculptor, and owner of the Sea of Sticks. You might know her as the artist of all the beautiful art surrounding you. It's Loren Eiferman.
Hello.
Thank you so much for being here.
Well, you're here. This is my studio.
You're absolutely right. I'm a guest in your space.
Yes.
I'm so glad that I could be here. It's such an interesting space. So many skylights.
Yeah, skylights, because I built this building and I wanted wall space. Wall space is at a premium. So when I designed it, I'm like, oh, if I put skylights in, then I can get light and have all the wall space. So
that makes a lot of sense. Well, Loren, just to sort of get us into the groove of this interview, you know, get us to know each other, get the viewer at home to get to know us. I prepared a couple questions for a thing I'm calling the speed round. They can be yes or no questions. We can dive a little bit deeper into them if you'd like.
Okay.
But they are going to be very simple and very quick.
Okay.
So we'll begin with the speed round. First question. Did you read the Times today?
Today I read yesterday's time, so I'm still catching up.
You're still catching up.
Saturday it's volume and Sunday it's volume. So I'll read Sunday's paper later today.
Gotcha. Anything catch your eye in there? I know you like to do sketches based off of what you see in there.
Yeah, I was reading the Arts and Leisure, and there was I didn't bring it in, a beautiful photograph of this woman with this like great arched back. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll have her diving from the sky in one of my drawings or play around with it. I don't know. It inspired me.
I love that.
Yeah, like I look at pictures and I'm like, oh, what can I turn this into? So.
And you have like several sketchbooks.
Yeah. Oh, they were here.
Well, they were here. Sorry, I did scooch them out of frame.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
you have tomes.
Yeah, I have lots and lots of sketchbooks.
And you do dirt and like other natural stuff in there as well,
and
right?
Ashes,
instead of just
I use stuff in a lot of the drawings. There's Caran d'Ache crayons. There's watercolor. There's acrylic. There's matte medium mixed with stuff, sometimes grasses or, stuff. I have piles of it. I don't know if you noticed under there, they're tucked away.
I don't know if it's in frame, but there are like vats and vats of different medium and such.
Yeah.
I love it. I have not seen like a 3D sketchbook before like that. Usually people are just like very brief with their kind of, their figure drawing and stuff like that. Why are you so drawn to like making them have that volume? Is there a particular reason?
I like texture. So I put texture on my sculptures as well. So it's a textural thing. It's like if something is so flat, like I tend to draw, and my paintings were usually very flat, but visually, but the texture brings out a level that deepens it. So
yeah. All right, next one. Perfect drink. It can be coffee, tea, whatever drives your fancy.
Water with lemon.
Water with lemon. Okay.
Or this summer, I'm making a lot of iced herbal tea.
Really?
So it's yummy.
I love that.
I make it at night, let it steep, and then fill up a giant bottle and drink it throughout the day.
Is this a tea that you make yourself?
Yeah. I take rooibos and fruit teas and all this stuff.
You sort of do your own little mishmash.
Yeah.
I love that.
I play with my tea cabinet.
Something nice and refreshing that you make yourself.
Yeah.
That's great. Favorite part of living in New York City? I mean, you're from there originally, right?
Right. There isn't one part. There are many parts. I love walking. So to be able to walk and see, surrounded by interesting people and stores and life and vibrancy is brilliant.
Yeah.
The restaurants, the art galleries, the museums. It's great. It's like wonderful and a lot of friends there too. So
yeah,
it's great.
That's awesome. I've had the privilege to be there twice now, and it's my favorite city I've ever been to. I am enamored with it, despite the fact my Midwestern sensibilities tell me I probably shouldn't be.
Have you been to Europe?
I've not been to Europe, no.
See? Because New York is the most European city in the United States.
That is interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So
I have
you
not thought
might
about it like that.
groove on Europe.
I'm sure I would.
Like London, Paris, Amsterdam.
You've been to Europe?
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
I lived in France for a year. I spent a year abroad during college, which, a diversion, I studied in this special program for state of New York art students. And we studied in this small town called Tours, which is 2 hours southwest of Paris.
Okay.
And the teacher was this man named Eric Koch, who was Danish, a Danish professor in France, made no sense whatsoever. But he used to be Hans Hofmann's assistant and helped run the Hans Hofmann School. So there were about 20 of us in this program, and we drew every day in charcoal on the same size piece of paper from the model every day for a year. There was no diversions, there was no color. All the color was found in black and white,
Just in the
and
values.
all the other tones that there were. And the discipline of showing up every day, no matter how you're feeling, no matter what's going on, but to be able to show up in the studio every day taught me one of the most valuable lessons that I carry today.
And
So
just, what is that, dedication or?
dedication and putting your body in the position of work. You know, we're all living in our heads all the time, or our emotions all the time, and to be able to we can all, if we're having trouble, go put our bodies in a chair and force ourselves to do that. That's the first step. So if you put your body in the position of work, work will follow. So I give that to you.
Okay, and give that to everybody at home.
Give it to everybody there.
I love that.
Yeah, it was a great lesson. So I lived in Europe for a year, and I have friends there, so I travel there when I can.
I love that.
Yeah.
Favorite book?
Voynich manuscript.
I thought maybe you'd say that. The Voynich manuscript. Can you share
It's not
with the...
exactly a great page turner.
Yeah, it's not, it's not Harry Potter.
It's not a story.
Yeah.
It's visually extraordinary.
Could you tell the viewers a little bit about what the Voynich manuscript is?
Yeah, it's a manuscript that was written, they believe, in the 15th century. It's a manuscript that was written in an unknown language by an unknown author, and the book is divided into 5 sections. And the first section is this botanical section, and it's filled with plants that don't exist in nature. So totally wacky, totally out there. Alan Turing, who cracked the Enigma code during World War II, tried to decipher it. Hundreds of people have tried to decipher it. No one has been able to do it. Even ChatGPT can't decipher it because it's not part of human knowledge yet. It's written in a totally arcane, unknown language. And so when I found that manuscript online one night, I went, oh my God, this is out there. I felt this deep gut sensation that I've never had before. And so for the past 10, 11, 12 years, I've been translating a lot of the illustrations into sculptures. It's been a well of inspiration for me. So
Yeah. Some of those pieces are in the gallery right now that you're sitting in. You said there are 4 other sections that you haven't touched yet. Are those?
I started briefly to. There's one celestial section with mandalas in it, like these round circular illustrations with faces in them and suns and moons and planets. There's another section with all these naked women in green bathtubs, with these like fallopian tube things coming out of them and connecting people. It's out there.
Huh.
It's weird.
Is there only one copy of the Winter's manuscript? That's at Yale, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At Yale's Beinecke. Yep. So, and they don't allow many people to see it. So I've tried. I've written letters. I always get back, well, if you're not doing a doctoral research project, we won't allow it. I'm like,
But it's available online, though.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sweet.
There's a really good facsimile online.
Do you have a favorite artist right now? Maybe not one of all time, but one that you're like interested in at the moment.
Last week I went to MoMA. I have many artists that inspire me, but this one is at the top of my brain because I just saw her show, Hilma af Klint.
Okay.
And there was a show of hers, there was a giant solo show of hers at the Guggenheim years ago that I went back 5 times to. And this show at MoMA I went and saw, and it was dynamite. So, So her, Ruth Asawa, there's so many great artists. There really are. And I have a lot of friends on Instagram that inspire me daily. It's like, it's great. I feel like there's a posse of artists that support each other and cheer each other on and are inspired by. So
Yeah. I try to surround myself with as much community as possible, especially when it comes to art. I am very grateful and thankful to have found that community, and I'm very glad that you have that on Instagram. That is really special.
yeah, it is, because artists work by themselves. I spend hours in my studio every day. It's a very, I would say lonely, but that sort of has a negative connotation to it.
It can be
It's
isolating.
Isolating. It's alone. I love being alone, but it's great to be able to connect with other people, in all this aloneness.
Yeah.
Like during COVID, I got on Instagram and I felt like, oh, I'm not alone. Like life during COVID for me was no different than life otherwise, pretty much, because I spend all my time alone anyway, and I'm always home. That's what I do. So it wasn't very different. It really wasn't. It was just, oh, now the rest of the world is living the way I usually live.
Yeah.
I hear more birds and animals and, it was okay.
I'm glad you had a positive experience during COVID.
Yeah, I sort of liked it, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I mean, there were things I enjoyed about it. I was in high school at the time, so it was...
That's hard.
That was tough, for
That's
sure.
hard.
Doing school and, missing my friends. Had to find out a way to hang out online as opposed to in person. Especially in, a Midwestern town there. Well, actually, I'm kind of glad that we were in a Midwestern town, because if we were in a city, that would have been a nightmare.
Yeah.
But, just trying to make do. And I think a lot of people just figured that out. And I think a lot of people are still sort of recovering from it, truthfully.
I am.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are. My daughter had a really hard time. So, it was that pull. But, the day-to-day was okay.
Yeah. This is our last question. I was curious, have you painted any of your dreams lately? I read in an article that you like to paint your dreams. Do you still do that?
Not as much. I did one last year, but I don't do them the way I used to. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Lauren,
Good questions.
I tried to dig as deep as possible
Good
and find some
questions.
interesting
Thank you.
stuff.
This was fun. And thanks for coming.
Well, thank you for engaging with the speed round. Let's move on to, we'll get into the meat of this, Have you always been an artist, Lauren? I mean, what was sort of the catalyst for that for you?
I've always made things. I've always made things out of nothing. When I was a little kid, really little, my mom told me I would spend hours on a Saturday afternoon when my parents were taking a nap and my brother and sister were out playing. I'd stay in the house and I'd play with these dolls and little trolls I had, and I'd make whole houses for them out of furniture out of toilet paper and Scotch tape. I would make beds for them and chairs for them and clothing for everything out of nothing, like toilet paper and Scotch tape. So I'm wired to always make stuff. And in high school, I was thinking, what do I want to do? It's time to explore. And do I want to take dance classes or art classes? And I started taking art classes in high school, and I went to the Brooklyn Museum. Used to have the best art school there. And so every Sunday I'd take the subway to the Brooklyn Museum and take art classes there. And that was great fun. And then I studied art in college in France and got a BFA. And I did collage in college and also sculpture. I didn't take any painting classes there.
Really?
Once, and I went to 3 different schools. I transferred around a lot. So
you did a lot of sculpture in college? I would have thought it was the opposite based off of the stories I had read. The beginning I thought of your wooden sculpture building had to do with you waiting for paintings to dry.
That too, but I studied sculpture in college, and I did a lot of clay sculpture. And I did figures, and then I do sort of body casts out of slabs and put them together and have friends don't move, the clay has to dry on you for an hour, and keep fans I was nuts. And then after I graduated, I moved into a teeny tiny apartment in the city in New York's Little Italy. Little Italy. And it was a 3-room apartment. Each room was 100 square feet. So I turned my bedroom into my studio, and that's where I said, I can't do sculpture. I don't have any room. I'll start painting.
Gotcha.
So I was painting these large, 4 by 6 foot paintings on paper, because paper, then once it dries, you can stack them and it takes up no space. And that's where I started sculpting again, because my painting in August wouldn't dry in New York City heat and humidity. So,
gotcha.
So I picked up a piece of balsa wood and started whittling away. And I was totally in the zone. And literally 8 hours passed of me whittling, no phone, no food, the days before constant cell phone interruptions and, our attention span being harnessed by all these other media.
Yeah.
And I was just in the zone. And after those 8 hours, I went, a sculptor. that's right, I am not a painter. And so I started whittling, and I realized balsa wood was a terrible material, and so I started whittling sticks, and then I realized straight edge razor blades were horrible. My hands were so cut up with razor cuts. So I ended up getting a Dremel and then another tool, and then going to Central Park and bringing sticks back on the subway. You know, this was...
Do you get any weird looks from that?
Yeah, I get weird looks, but it was also, you couldn't do that now, post 9/11.
You couldn't bring sticks on the subway?
Yeah,
I see videos all the time of people bringing like goats and stuff on the subway.
Goats?
I've seen animals. People bring like big tubs of milk on the subway that are open to the air.
I don't know.
I've seen some crazy videos. Maybe they're just salacious and they're fake. But
yeah, it's AI.
yeah, you think so?
Yeah,
maybe
goats on the subway. I don't think so.
It had a leash. I don't know. Maybe it was a pet. Service animal.
I think it's AI. Nobody knows what's true anymore.
True enough.
Yeah.
Were your parents artists? Was that sort of like a step out of bounds when you went to art school?
My mom did study at the Art Students League in her 20s. So she had art in her. Her father was this incredibly talented jeweler.
Oh.
So there is like creating an art in the family, and somewhere in my genes, you know.
We talked a little bit about the Voynich manuscript. Are there any other things that you find inspiration from?
Yeah. Nature, go outside, look at the way the leaf is attached to a plant, how a leaf furls, how leaves drop, and they're all together by a stem. I always find that, because it's always about the connection points, the meeting points of one form with another form. So I'm always looking at that. There's another book I find inspirational. It's Carl Blossfeldt, who was a turn-of-the-century black and white photographer. And I'm going to kill the name of the book in German, Formen der Kunst or something, Formen. I don't know how to say it in German. But it was a book that he published of his black and white photographs of nature in extreme close-up. So it's nature, but translated to 2 dimensions. So I take his photographs frequently and turn those into sculptures as a jumping off point. Also, the Hubble telescope and the latest telescope imagery from outer space, like I have and those piece formations that have been made from something so deeply terrestrial. Wood.
Speaking of wood.
What's out there is also here, right on Earth.
That's true. Yeah. If you think about it that way, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're all carbon.
Yeah.
Most of us.
Some are diamonds.
Oh. Speaking of wood, it just reminded me about your sort of like your routine for picking up your medium. Do you do daily walks?
Yeah. I walk every day and walk in my neighborhood and in the woods around my house. And whenever there's a big storm, I'm like, oh, goody.
Free sticks.
Windstorms are my friends. I like them.
Because you don't chop down any trees.
No.
No.
I get sticks that have fallen to the ground. And then I don't know if you noticed when you walked into my studio, there's a pile of sticks there. And then I have a pile of sticks. I bring those ones here, then put the new one, strip the wood of its bark, put it in the back of my pile. So it's a constant cycle of wood, and I make sure the wood is dried out. There are no bugs in it, that they're strong. Whatever stick I collect, I hit hard on the ground to make sure it's not rotted or there's no bugs in them. And,
Yeah.
because I don't want bugs.
No, you don't want bugs in the studio.
No.
Sort of like on the matter or the subject of your stick collection, your sea of sticks. Is I think that's sort of what drew us to your pieces, was them as vibrant matter, despite the fact that they are, inanimate. So part of our discussion with the exhibit is silent actors in our lives, things like nature, even like the glare of the sun on a piece of metal. I'm curious, what drove you to do sticks instead of anything else? Like, because you mentioned the balsa wood, you mentioned going to Central Park. Why did you step away from clay?
Because I didn't have space.
It
was a spatial thing. I think also what started me working in wood was that I didn't have a lot of money.
Sticks are free.
Sticks are free, and they're around us. They're ubiquitous. They're everywhere. And so it's nature's art materials. It's great. It's surrounding all of us. And why not create something out of what's given to us?
Sure. Sort of like the ultimate recycling.
Yeah.
Something I thought was interesting about your process was you don't steam bend your wood.
No.
Why?
Because I don't know how. It takes up a lot of space and equipment, and I'm not. I find it really interesting to take what nature has given us and to be able to take that form and shape it and craft it, and that's what I do. So, I'd like to learn steam bending. It'll probably be a lot easier to make curves and everything than what I'm doing, the insanity that I'm doing. But
it's an interesting process because you make all the I don't know what to call it, the glue, glue to the sticks. You make all that. You follow the grain of the stick naturally, and just how you're angling it up in such a unique way. Your process is super interesting to me. You start on the sketchbook. You said something in an article I thought was really interesting. That was it was along the lines of my sculptural work are drawings that I brought to life. Is that just very literal, or is there something there that is a little bit more spiritual?
They're drawings in wood. All my work is spiritual, I think. I think, we're only here on this planet for a short time. There is wonder around us. And if somebody can look at my work and feel inspired and connected to the wood and the trees and nature, what better thing is there? Our lives are all spiritual, I think.
Yeah.
I do,
as people just
we are stardust. We are golden, to quote Joni Mitchell.
I was gonna say, it's very George Carlin. We're all stardust. All the
You're in the
Earth.
humor. You're in the humor vein.
I am. Well, I also resonate with that. I resonate with things through humor, I think. But I do take that very seriously. We are all just, we're all people.
Yeah.
This made of the same stuff. Some of us are diamonds.
Yeah.
Some of us are carbon.
Some of us are powder.
Yeah.
Carbon powder. Some of us are congealed better.
Congealed.
You like that one, huh?
I do. It's jello-ish. I'm tickled by that. You are a sculptor, and you said that with like a lot of confidence. Just
I'm old enough. I've been at it long enough.
You own it.
I've had decades of doing this work, and I'm at a point in my life and my work where I make something. If I don't like the way something is formed or bent, I'm not afraid to take a saw to it, tear it all apart, and rebuild it. You know, I think the ability to do that comes with time and experience. Like, I used to think everything I made was precious, and now I'm like, I'm more interested in making something transmit and translate an emotion, a thought, an idea, a connection to my work. You know, I want somebody to say, look at my work and say, how the hell did you make that? What is that? Because we've all picked up sticks.
yeah.
You know, every single person on this planet, I've never met somebody who hasn't picked up a stick and peeled the bark off with their fingernails, and then the bark gets stuck in your fingernails. Like, we've all done that, felt the smooth wood underneath. It's like that connection to nature that I want to inspire.
Yeah. When I first saw your work, I don't know how I want to say this, drawn to it because not only did I think it was interesting, but I was also thinking about it from the sense of like, after reading some of the our other interviews with you, I was like, there's a very not juvenile, but sort of like, there are like young kids collect sticks, and they're all, like, whenever I was out in the woods as a kid, I was always like making walking sticks. I was like, there was a play to it,
Right.
that I really connected with your work, and I just thought that was a very interesting aspect for me.
Because we all were kids.
It's true. We all were.
We all were. Still are. Hopefully. Never stop growing.
Yeah, kids at heart. I love that. I think we're coming to a close here, Loren. So I just have a couple more questions for you. I'm curious if there's anything that you'd like to share with the viewers, anything in the future that you're working on that you want to give us a little bit of a heads up about. This will be, I believe, coming out in October. So if there's anything coming up in your sort of imminent future that you'd like to share, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to be having a solo show at Conveyor Gallery in Poughkeepsie, New York. I think that's December sometime, so that's exciting. And then there's some other things I'm working on. So yesterday I just got written up in hyperallergic. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, congratulations.
Thanks. So they did a whole profile on me, a view from the easel. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
And then I have a gallery in Jersey, Kelly McKenna, and she said she's working on some things for me. So we shall see.
Okay.
We shall see. So we'll see.
Perfect. I love that. And your Instagram is at Loren Eiferman, right?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
LorenEiferman.
Perfect. I love that. You're good at this.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm good at it, but everybody always spells my name Lauren, not Loren.
Yeah, and there will be the correct spelling somewhere in post as well.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
they
You're
can't get
good
it
at
mixed
this
up.
as well.
I do my best. This is our last question. Pretty open-ended, honestly. This is a segment that I'm calling Get Real. This is an opportunity for you to speak to the viewer directly and sort of impart something to them, a bit of wisdom, something that you feel connects with you or that you think they should know?
Go out in nature. Go out in nature. Put your body outside. Take at least 3 deep breaths. Take it all in and be aware. Be aware that we're here on this planet together with nature. It's given to us. Everything is not a shit show.
Not everything.
Not everything. There is beauty surrounding us daily. Pay attention to it. That's what I think.
That's really beautiful. I love that. Lauren, thank you for sitting down with me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Crooked Tree. Thank you so much for watching.
Yep. Thank you.
Stay safe. Be good.
Be inspired.
Be